Hey everybody, I'm Jilla Webb and I am a vocal coach. I've taught privately since 1991. That's a very long time. A lot of you weren't even around, but I've been doing this a long time. I love teaching voice. I love passing on what I know. I've been a performer longer than that. I've traveled around the world. And I love, like I said, sharing the gift of music with people who want to make that their life work and their career. Sometimes it's sharing it with people who just love to do it as a hobby. I teach privately. I still gig. I still play. I also am a professor at Auburn University when I'm not in my own studio teaching. And what I thought I would start with is doing a little bit of a recap of my days and weeks. Sometimes some really important themes come out, and there are 5 things that happened today of my teaching day that I thought maybe I'd share with you. The first one, early this morning, I did a table session, so I did table work. It's part of the Alexander technique work that I do. And one thing that really came out of there was the theme was sort of, we need to take time to continue to check in with ourselves because we get so busy and we try to push so much that it leads to over tensing in our bodies and we don't notice it, right? It just happens. And at the end of the day, you're like, why am I so tense? Why does my neck hurt? Why do I have a headache? Why does my back hurt? We don't notice the things that we're doing to ourselves and in our body. And then that interferes with our singing and our performance because we're tired and it hurts and it's hard to be creative and get in that flow state, right? When you're like, and you're all tensed up and you don't know how you've gotten there. So doing Alexander work and doing this table lesson this morning with my student reminded me that we need that time to ourselves. We need time to find those patterns of, holding that we do because they block our expression. They block who we are, who we truly are from really coming out and being able to do what we do. So that's a really important thing, is taking the time to figure out what's really going on with you and feeling unblocked so that you can let that creative juice start flowing and you could get into that flow state and your performance then becomes more authentic and more free and more effortless. And that's what we're all after, right? The second thing was when you're singing a song and it's got some notes that are scale-like and they move quickly, right? You want to hit those notes straight on, da, da, da. You don't want to sort of jump up to them or scoop up to them. That's going to sound muddy. And especially if you're singing with somebody else. You want those notes to be straight on because if one person is scooping and the other person is not scooping, that's going to be a mess. Nobody wants to listen to that. So straight on, hit those notes. Slow it down. Make sure that you're hitting the notes straight on the pitch and make sure that you can do it in different keys and that you know what those intervals are. That will be really helpful. In another lesson, what I love to call turtle singing. When people reach for the mic or you just stick the neck out, and sometimes it's just the chin, right? Why are you sticking your chin out like that? Well, don't do that. That hurts me even to show it. When you stick your face out like that, you pull, and you're going to say to me, I don't do that. Take some pictures, take some video. My guess is a lot of you out there are reaching for that microphone, right? And even a little bit of turtleneck, right, or turkey neck will put pressure on your larynx and it'll make the sound different, right? And it's going to put stress and pressure on your larynx and your vocal cords, and we don't need to be doing that, okay? The other thing that goes along with that is not lifting the chin for high notes. You don't need to lift your chin to hit high notes. I promise you it would be better if you don't. It might feel weird for a second, but if you have a coach that's helping you, they'll help you through that. Don't lift your chin for high notes, and please don't turtle sing. There's no good that can come of that. Another lesson today reminded me to build a set that really reflects who you are. If you don't like a song, if you're not comfortable with a song, if you've branded a certain image, do songs that fit that image because you're trying to sell you as a commodity. You're trying to sell you to people who are like you and will become fans. And if you deviate too far from that, people aren't going to understand or know who you are, right? And the other thing is, if you do a song and it makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, don't do the song. Change the lyric. If it's something, people change lyrics all the time. If it's just one or two lyrics here and there, change the lyric. Don't do anything on stage that makes you uncomfortable. It's hard enough to be up there, and you don't want to be presenting an image to the world that isn't truly authentically who you are. That's going to make things really uncomfortable, because then you're going to have to live this and try and perpetuate this image that isn't you. And no one wants to live like that. So be really, really certain that when you are building your set and your website and everything that you do, every piece of communication that goes from you to the world, you are building that tells the world who you are, authentically and real. Don't pretend to be something that you're not, and do things that make you uncomfortable, because you won't be comfortable with that. That's not sustainable, okay? And then the other thing, the last thing, I don't know where you're listening to me from, but it's really hot this summer everywhere. So stay hydrated. I don't know if you can see it. This is called Element. There. LMNT. I love this stuff to put in my water. I have my big water thing, and I drink a lot of these per day. This is like an electrolyte drink. I like this one because it's sugar-free and it has stevia in it, which I just personally am okay with, and I enjoy the taste of. I also really do like Liquid IV. Okay, and now this one does have sugar, so I might not do this one late in the day. They do have a sugar-free brand, but I don't know the kinds of sweeteners that they use. I don't know as much about, so I like to just use these earlier in the day and stay hydrated. I go for a lot of walks. I do a lot of outdoor gigs. I make sure I take these with me to my outdoor gigs. So I have them before, during, and after, so I stay hydrated, and my cords stay hydrated. My body stays hydrated, so I'm not, really wearing myself out in the middle of my set. And then again, you have to start engaging all sorts of different muscles that really don't need to be working. And then you wind up overworking and overtensing, and we get right back to the very first lesson, where suddenly your body is just this big ball of stress and you have no idea how it got there, right? So those are the things. Take time for yourself, be aware of your body, find those stress patterns, and we got to figure out how to unwind those things with you. If you're doing scales or anything in a song where it goes up or down quickly, you want to make sure you're hitting the notes straight on, they are in tune, practice them slowly. No turtle singing, no lifting the head. Build a set that reflects who you are authentically and genuinely, because that is the only thing that is sustainable in your career. And you want to have a long career. You don't want to just have, a couple of years and you're done. And stay hydrated, right? Take care of yourself, take care of your body. If you like these videos that I do and you have questions about singing or music industry or Alexander technique, feel free to, comment, drop me a DM, hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Let me know what questions you have. I'd be happy to do a video to answer some questions, and I will just see you all next time.